Thank you for joining the Small Business Owners and Operators podcast. I am your host, Drew Jackson. I'm a small business coach, speaker, and trainer, and I seek to bring you fantastic interviews with small business owners and then relevant teaching in the areas of leadership and business. So please like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, and then go ahead and subscribe to the podcast so you can get updates when we have new content available to you. So I am really excited today. I have a fantastic interview here today with the owner of Ruby Lee's Kitchen and Catering from the Heart, Trevia Shaw. Say hello, Trevia.
Hi, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you so much for doing this, Trevia. I really appreciate it. And this is going to be a lot of fun. You are the owner of Ruby Lee's Kitchen, Catering from the Heart, and you've been catering for 14 years. And you'll do anything.
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah. You'll do anything from individual meals,
Correct.
romantic dinners, all the way up to you fed 800 people. I can't even imagine. We had about 30 people at our house yesterday, and 10 of them were little kids. We didn't have 30. We had like 20. And that about stretched me to the limits. Okay. And I was just in charge of rice and beans. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we didn't do your traditional Easter dinner yesterday. We went Mexican because who doesn't love Mexican foods?
Exactly.
But you do all kinds of stuff, and I want to get into it. But vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, you name it. You
Correct.
are a cook. You know how to cook food. You know how to make good food, and so that's what you can do.
Yes.
And I want to get into some of the details of what you offer at the store. But first, I just kind of want to jump in there.
Okay.
And ask you a question about the name of your business, Ruby Lee's Kitchen. How did you come up with that name?
I named it after my grandmother. Me and my cousins used to go in the kitchen with her when we were younger all the time and cook. And we were just amazed because she could just throw things in a pot and it tasted good. So I wanted to know how to do that.
Right.
So over the years, I've learned how to do that with her instructions, but she's passed on now. So I wanted to honor her by naming my storefront after her.
That is fantastic.
Oh.
That's fantastic. And so the Ruby Lee's Kitchen and then Catering from the Heart. Now, Catering from the Heart you've been doing that for the 14 years. And then,
correct.
Do I have it right? Okay. So Catering from the Heart has been your established catering business for years. But then a couple years ago, you opened up the storefront, which is Ruby Lee's Kitchen. And when did that open up again?
I opened it in January this year. Originally, we started the construction in August of last year, but we officially opened in January of this year. So I needed a different name for my storefront, but I wanted to connect the two.
Yeah.
So people will still know that I still cater, but I have a sandwich shop now also. So
that's fantastic. And you are, tell us where you're at once again.
I'm in Fort Worth. I'm at 404 South Oakland Boulevard in Fort Worth, 76103 is the address.
And that's good because we're going to come back to that.
Okay.
Some of your passion, because you're offering healthy food, sandwiches, salads in a jar. Did I got that right? Yes.
Yeah, I do offer that.
You can take to work. So everybody knows, Trevia and I are in a BNI group, a Business Networking International group together, and so she caters the food for our breakfast. And then a lot of people buy their lunches from you. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's correct.
That's great. So anyhow, that's kind of our connection. And I want Trevia to share more about her heart on the healthy food that she brings. But I want to ask you a couple questions about your business. So obviously you didn't get from there to here. You had a catering business for 14 years. Wow. You were in the mortgage industry. But at some point you made a transition. Tell us kind of about your journey, because the people that are watching this, they have a journey too. And they're all different places in their journey. And I think it's so encouraging to hear from other people about their journey and how it came about. So if you would, share that with us.
Originally, when I graduated from high school, we'll take it back through there. I
Okay.
graduated from high school and I was working full time and going to college.
Wow.
And went to college for 2 years, but that wasn't for me. I was bored with it. My mind ran too much while I was in class. I've learned that. So I was doing insurance. I was paying medical claims. And little did I know, 10 years into it, 13 years into it, we were going to get laid off. And right before I had sent out a notice to say that I would start selling lunches because I would give my food away all the time. 2 weeks later, we get a pink notice saying we are getting laid off.
Wow.
So I started selling plates at that time, but I wasn't bringing enough money in. So I went back to corporate America, and this time I changed my profession to mortgage.
Okay.
So I worked for 14 years, and I did contract labor through mortgage, and that was fine, but I was still working 2 full-time jobs, catering full-time and doing mortgage full-time.
Oh,
and
my goodness.
By this time, my daughter was getting ready to graduate high school, and my son is getting ready to graduate kindergarten because they're 11 years apart.
Oh, my
So
goodness.
I was like, I have to do something different. So my contract was getting ready to end. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna step out on faith for the 3rd time and just do catering, and that's all. So I did. And me and God had a long conversation. And it has worked out. I've been able to put my daughter through college along with still being able to keep a roof over my head. And then God blesses me with this building because I've had opportunities to do other buildings, but it didn't feel right. So this one, it just felt right when I walked into it. I was able to create it the way I wanted to, and it just feels right. So I tell anybody, don't just jump into something. Make sure it feels right and it comes in alignment with you. Because if you just jump into it and it's not right, then, it won't work out for you. So this feels right, and everything just falls in place. It keeps falling in place. So
that's so good.
So I'm excited.
Yeah, that is exciting. How just this progression, and your vision for your storefront, where it's at, and what the opportunities you have there to really serve the community. It's exciting.
Thank you.
Let me ask you this: what is the greatest lesson that you've learned as a business owner? What would be your greatest lesson you think you've learned?
Opening a storefront, I realized there is a lot of permits and you have to go through the city a lot. Didn't know that before. Didn't know, I know what to look for now. Before I didn't know what to look for. I was just like, make it pretty. That was,
right.
I just was like, I just want to make this look good. But there's a lot of behind the scenes things that you have to do in order to get signed out for the building to be cleared. Yeah. So I've learned a lot of the process. I can do just about anything at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
You got a PhD in city.
Oh yes, I can draw. I can do anything. But
my goodness.
I've learned what to look for and what not to look for, and what would be a good place and what wouldn't be a good place. So it's been a learning process, but it's been a good learning process. So
isn't that how it is though? You jump out, you take action, you just go for it, and you learn along the way. But you never would have even learned that if you were too afraid to step,
Correct.
And to go after your dream and what you want to do. I think that's amazing. That's so good. Well, let me ask you this. What do you see as the greatest challenge, maybe the greatest challenge that small business owners like yourself have to go through and maybe battle through?
I would say finances. It takes a lot to open your storefront. Wow. And for me, I didn't go into debt. I used all of my money.
Wow.
If I would have went back, I would have used somebody else's money.
Hey, you're getting the real stuff here today on this interview, okay?
But I mean, you can estimate a certain amount, but I would always say estimate very, very high. because you have so many hiccups that pop up that you never even have a clue about. So to me, that was the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
The finance of it, because you're paying for something, you know, you still got to pay the rent, and you still got to pay for the lights to stay on and all the utilities in the same time of getting it ready to open up. So, you know, and getting the permits, because it's a lot of permits that you have to get in order to open a storefront.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that lag time in business. There's always that.
yes.
I feel like there's always that, you know, lag time. I don't know what else to call it, but you start, and then you invest, and then there's the wait, you know. So
Correct.
one of my mentors says you sow the seeds, you know.
Correct.
And you sow those seeds, and then there's a time where you got to water them, and sunlight has to do its thing, and then it comes around, and you get some income from those seeds that you sowed 3, 6, 9 months earlier.
Correct.
And so that's definitely part of that process. That's good. That's a great lesson. Thank you for sharing that with us. I want to ask you this: what would you say was kind of a turning point in your business, or was there a moment when you thought, I think I got something going here. I think I got something special here.
What, when I first started it?
Any time in your journey, in your journey.
Yeah, when I first started the journey, because I used to just do it for fun. And I did a party for my godmother, and it was for 100 people. It was a luau. And a gentleman said to me,
a luau. I mean, you are diversified. My goodness.
Well, and a gentleman came up to me, and he said they had a very low budget. He said, "Ours is $400, but if you work with us, no matter where I go, I will take you with me." And, you know, I'm just all super excited. Ooh, this is my first really big party. So I did it, and it was a lot of work, because it was 400 people that I was feeding. So, but I did it all. It was a wine and cheese. And from there on, I saw what others saw in me, because I just cook for a living. You know, I just said I enjoy cooking, but when you see someone enjoying what you do, you know, and to me, that's where it just warms my heart to see, because I normally don't tell people who I am. I just walk in the room to see, oh, how y'all like everything. And so they can be honest with me versus, you know, not, you know, saying it's not tasting very well. But when I see people enjoying food, that warms my heart. So that was my turning point for me. When I
that's wonderful.
That's
those
400 people. So yeah. So
that's so good. That's so good. When you're able to add value to people, you know, and
exactly.
make their day with what you do, that makes it all worthwhile. Absolutely. That's good. Well, let me ask you this. You know, I'm a personal growth guy. I'm a leadership trainer, small business coach. And so I'm all about developing yourself and personally and getting better. How has personal growth or learning and growing in your journey, how has that played a part in your journey?
I'm still learning. I'm still learning. It's a lot of things I don't know. And I learn something new every single day.
Oh, yeah.
And I do a lot of self-help books. But I listen to people that have successful businesses, not people just, you know, because people have their own opinions. And but I listen to people that have successful businesses, and I sit down with them and receive everything that I can and take away from it what I need from it. You know, because sometimes, you know, their footprint may not be the same footprint for me, but I can take something from that footprint to make it work for me. So I'm all about listening to others, you know, and getting more knowledge, because I don't know it all at all. You know, I'm learning. I'm still learning. Yeah. So, but that's what I normally do.
That's good. And you said something very key. You said, I learn and sit down with successful business owners. I mean, that's the key, right? Anybody has an opinion, and any old person could tell you I'm sure you had lots of people tell you when you want to open a storefront, don't do it, because maybe they've failed in the past, or they've, haven't been able to realize their dreams. And so, they say don't do it. But if you sit down with successful people,
Correct.
their mentoring, their wisdom carries more weight
Correct.
than just someone with an opinion.
Correct.
So that's great. That's good. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Well, let me ask you this. What is something that you're working on right now? What's something that's kind of, well, goodness, you're working on the storefront right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's do this first. Would you tell me, I know you have some sandwiches that you're serving. Kind of what do you offer at the storefront, and what can people get there?
Okay, at the storefront right now we have 5 different sandwiches, and then I've added a specialty sandwiches. So I have a Turkalicious, which is a turkey sandwich. Um, um, I just went blank. A ham sandwich. I can't think of the actual name right now.
I know I had it a minute ago.
A ham.
Dad's a little hammy or something like that.
Yeah, Daddy's Little Ham. And
Yeah.
then I have Manly Man's, which is a cold cut sandwich. Then I have Dorothea's tuna, and then Tasty Tuna, and then I have Mama's chicken salad, and then I have salads also, turkey and ham salad. I make those fresh as you order them. And then my aunt talked me into, she loves turkey pastrami. So right now we offer as a specialty is the turkey pastrami.
There you go.
So, and we have cakes, and we sell fresh cakes, and
Oh, wow.
Also, yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
And did I see you have like a lunch special, right?
Yes, we have a daily box special that's $5, and it comes with the sandwich and the chips.
Wow.
So every day it's a different sandwich.
That is
so Tuesday
fantastic.
through Saturday it's a different. Yeah. Just to be affordable, because at lunchtime you want to just run out, grab something. You're not trying to break the bank at lunch. So
Yeah.
And to be more competitive with other, so you don't want to run over to McDonald's and go to their dollar menu.
Hey, just say it how it is, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You can have McDonald's, or you can have a fresh made sandwich. I mean,
exactly.
Not a hard decision. That's great. Well, tell me, you have this desire and this dream.
Mm-hmm.
So you're off Oakland there, and when I was reading your bio and some of the information you sent over to me, did I read it right that there's not a healthy alternative like you have within 5 miles of your location?
Correct.
Wow.
Correct.
So tell me about your heart for the area that you're in, because we talked about this earlier. I alluded to it, but tell me about the area you're in, the heart that you have for that area, and where the storefront is at.
My storefront is right there off of Oakland, but the cross street is Lancaster. Okay. So in Fort Worth. So on that street, there's a lot of fried food, and I love Mexican food, but there's a lot of Mexican food and tacos and everything, but there's not a lot of healthy options at all, So for lunchtime, if you don't bring your lunch, you're running into all of these places, and, it's heavy food, and it makes you lethargic, and, I want you to have something that you can process, so you can process the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And you're not sleepy, because when we tend to eat heavy food, we get sleepy. But I just want a healthier option. So you have the proper fuel to go through the day. And people are learning, every day I ask God to send me new customers. So he's been sending me new customers, and they'll ask me a lot of times, do you have hot food yet? And I'm like, certain days I do soups, I'll do soups when it's cooler outside, or I'll do chili. And then every third Saturday we fry fish, because I've had so many requests for that. So I do fry fish. But
give the people what they want, huh?
Yeah, I'm giving them what they want, but I want them to get used to eating better.
Yeah.
So they're coming around slowly but surely. They are coming around.
That's so good. That's so good. Wow. Well, that's great. I'm excited about stopping in. It's a little ways from here, but just a shot down the freeway. So Tuesday through Saturday, you have
11 to 5.
open,
Yes.
right? That's
11 through 7.
11 o'clock through 7.
Through 5.
Through
Through
5.
5
I'm
o'clock.
sorry, 11
Okay.
through 5.
Uh-huh.
That is great. And we have your Facebook page. I'm going to put it up
Okay.
on in the links here so you can find out all about it. But before we go today, I
Okay.
want to ask you a couple rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Are you up for it?
Sure.
All right. Here we go. These are funny questions. So what was the last thing you watched on TV and why did you choose to watch it?
Will and Grace, because they're
Will
funny.
and Grace.
Yeah.
Wow, you brought that one back. That one's been gone for a while, hadn't it?
I love it though.
There you
It's
go.
hilarious.
There you go. That's your show.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How about this one? What were you like in high school?
I don't know. Maybe why? I mean, I think I was told I was motherly. I took care of everybody. So
You haven't changed much. You just got a bigger group. You're
yeah, I just got a bigger
in the
group.
area
exactly.
there, giving them healthy food.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Here's a serious question.
Okay.
A 6-year-old asks you if Santa Claus is real. What do you say?
I don't know. Ask your parents.
There you go.
Ask
There's
your
the safe
parents.
one.
Yeah.
Absolutely. How about this one? Do you have any
Mhm.
pets?
No, my daughter keeps killing them.
No.
No. It's fish. She's not killing something serious. It was just fish.
I was going to ask you, what would your pet say about you if we asked for a reference? But
when I had one, it was good until she came home.
Hmm.
So but
they'd say, get her out of here. We're trying to survive around
Yes.
here. All right. Here's the last one. You really you got to imagine this one. So,
okay.
Would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
A horse-sized duck.
There you go. That's it. That is Trevia Shaw.